Hello, my friends, and welcome to Summertime Loops and Scoops. And appreciate you taking time for your day to connect with the love spritzers that we can share with each other with our attention. I was thinking again that attention is a basic form of nourishment. Just think what you've done already today to nourish yourself. And did you feel genuinely nourished by what you chose? And my sense is that attention is a nourishment that we forget to give ourselves, and that we don't really, a lot of us think we don't deserve the nourishment of attention, or we have conditions on attention. So the first thing that I want to do is to have you create a kind of love bubble around you. We've been, the whole US has been sort of surrounded by a heat globe. And I'd like to replace that with a love globe, and one that surrounds you so that you literally are walking around in a love bubble. So what I would like you to do is to take some time to sense into you and to sense around you, because we don't realize that our personal space is really our reach space all the way around us. And I'd like you to just kind of reach out in different directions and notice, do you feel surrounded by love there? Do you feel surrounded by love there, like in back of you? And if you don't, I'd like you to reach out, bring some love in, and just like cotton candy, like you're spinning love, and then you're placing it inside your love bubble. So you have love insulation all around you. So I want you to give yourself a little time to just play with that. And I'm going to stand to do this, and I want to invite you to do that also. I'm going to turn my chair a little bit. So to feel around you and to notice, there may be some places where it feels diminished, like do you have a lot out in front of your heart? And if not, go ahead and bring some in, and you can fluff it. And as you bring it in, you can let it slide around you, whatever feels most pleasant to you. I'd like you to let yourself, you can shower it over you. So letting yourself really be feeling, sensing into getting love all around you, and notice how your body wants to respond to that. Yeah, I start feeling, actually, I start sensing a kind of a streaming along my body. And also make sure you bring it into anywhere so that you're touching different places and saying, okay, are they feeling the nourishment of love? And if not, since we're surrounded by love, just go ahead and reach out and get some, and you can slather it on, you can slap it on, you can spritz it on. So we think of love scoops, as being like a scoop of ice cream, which is also a great idea, but it could be love slurps, and it could be love slides. So letting yourself just surround you with love, and then take a moment to, I got to have a little bit more in my back. My back's going, I take such good care of you, and where is my love, huh? So letting yourself make sure, check into your sits bones and check into your feet, feel your feet, let yourself notice any place that's wanting a little bit of love. Could be like love acknowledgement, like, hey, hey, me too, after everything I do for you. So, okay, and then under my arms, I can feel also that under my arms, because I feel mostly, the biceps. So under my arms wants love too. So I can slather that. This is an area where I give judgment, because I think I have my grandmother's arms. And so I refuse to give love to my arms because they don't look the way they're supposed to look. So I'm going to just give love to my arms, because all of the love and all of the connections with the world that my arm does for me. So I'm going to just love them. They're going a little bit of it's about time. So notice how you respond to your own love. And my body is now relaxing at a deeper level. I can feel a kind of settling, an out breath. So notice for you the impact of giving yourself love and creating a love bubble. Now, how might you carry that love bubble around today? How might your being a love beam, a love light, how might that impact your relationships with other people today, your choices as you move around in the world? One of the benefits I've been talking some about the benefits of loop of awareness and love scoops. So would like you to give some attention now to attention. And attention is the source of that basic nutrient. And one of the things I thought might be fun for you to explore today is, what's the shape of your attention? Because our attention has substance. You only need to, when you're driving down the road or just standing there, look over to the car next to you, and it'll be 2 seconds before the person in the car looks over at you, because they can feel your attention. And what are they feeling? What are you feeling, as in sensing, when you are giving and receiving attention? So mostly, let's just try on some shapes of attention. I think many people think of their attention, especially if someone says pay attention, is more like Z, laser beams out your eyes and very narrow and so that's not the kind of attention we're talking about. When you give attention, let it go out like one of those silk parachutes that you let spread out and then it lands. So letting it, or an attention frisbee that you throw out and then it lands. And then let that come back to you. How do you receive? What's the shape of attention when you're on the receiving end? Because a lot of us narrow our receiving so that we just get little drips of attention. So so we could have the pointy, we could also have the scanning. So sending your attention out as a kind of a, lighthouse where you're scanning. And then bringing that lighthouse back to you where you're scanning inside yourself. I notice with attention that often there's some kind of a judgment that comes with it. So what if you added to the shape of your attention? Let's create some different shapes. So we had the parachute. So since many of us are in the middle of a heat wave, how about your favorite kind of sprinkler? And the favorite kind of sprinkler that you had as a kid, because it's often different for those of us, depending on when you grew up, because we had the kind that you would attach to the hose, and it was a kind of a little waffle shape, and it would come out as a kind of a gentle shower, and then you would go to one side and then you could run through it, or you could wait till it come and got you. So let yourself shape your attention going out like your favorite kind of sprinkler, and let your attention land on, refresh what you're seeing. And then let that shape of the sprinkler come back and refresh you with that shower of attention. and notice if it wants to land any place. Like I'm really enjoying it on my shoulders. And when I'm in the shower, that's one of the times where I get a lot of creative ideas. Also brushing my teeth, I think it has to do with flow. So what's the flow of your attention that creates the most delight for you? So there are let's just stay with sprinklers for a little bit, because there's also the big industrial sprinkler that goes and then back. So a powerful force of your attention going out and really cleansing, sweeping across, and just notice how that is to use your attention in that powerful way. And what I'm noticing is that it's coming from more than just my eyes. We think of attention as being a visual, exclusively a visual exchange. So notice if you let your whole body be the sprinkler, and you let your whole body shape how the sprinkler lands. Like mine was so powerful, it just went all the way across the street and landed on a bush across the street. Oh, that's so cool. And the bush is now shimmering a little bit. So I think we underestimate the power of our attention, the literal power of our attention. See if you'd be willing to receive that much powerful attention for you. Is there any place in you that would like kind of a jet stream washing? Anything you'd like to clear out with your attention, like something that you've been blaming yourself about, or something that you've been, feeling kind of stuck about. How about letting your attention kind of do a power wash through that and let your body respond to having that kind of attention? What I notice when I give myself that kind of attention is that it's a washing. And I have then that moment afterwards where I'm not thinking, I'm just being and enjoying. One of the benefits of being able to loop your attention and shape your attention and give and receive your attention, I have found that it has greatly increased my timing, that my right timing, being in the right time at the right place, noticing things that I would not notice if I were not circulating my attention. So particularly if you're feeling stuck about anything, I'd like you to give your attention to that with just kind of being with it. And especially if you think of it as sort of outside yourself, something that you're stuck on, and you give your attention to that. And then you give attention to you for just how you're experiencing the stuckness. And then let your attention move to that thing again, the thing that feels stuck. Imagine it, like I imagine it as a sort of a grumpy person sitting out there going, and so I'm giving attention to that. And then I'm giving attention to me for feeling however I feel about the stuckness. And then I'm circulating, giving attention to that, and then giving attention to me. And then just noticing, does anything shift? Take a moment to notice if anything shifts in you. So we've got love bubbles and love sprinklers, which seems very appropriate for summertime. And that you can refresh yourself just as you are. Because we tend to settle into, if only this were different, then I would feel better. But giving attention to just how it is, and then loving yourself for however you feel about how it is, and then letting that circulate, what I find is that just my attention loosens and I'm more available for the play of life, how things move through and shift. So that was fun. So I'm going to now pull up Presence Connect Play. I'm going to pull a little fresh. And presence today, for those of you who may be new, at the end of our, or toward the end of our Loops and Scoops, I pull up our Presence Connect Play app so that we have a suggestion for what we could explore during the week. So presence says appreciate, and then in a parenthesis, it says you too. So appreciating is in fact giving your sensitive awareness. It's about attention. So giving your sensitive awareness out here, just kind of noticing how things are, and then over here to you. So that's what it means by you too. So appreciating you, because I think humans put more conditions on them appreciating themselves than appreciating others. And then connect is also about appreciating. It's about listening appreciatively. To me, that is a concise descriptor of effective listening. If you really just gave your attention to listening with appreciation, so listening with sensitive awareness, listening for what's sort of around the edges and what's underneath and behind, that kind of listening connects immediately. I bet you remember somebody who was listening to you in that way, weren't trying to fix you or make any judgments, but we're just really listening with appreciation for you. And what comes through then is the nourishment of appreciation and that feeling of deep connection. And then, play is let go. That's been one of my favorite practices of late, which is letting go, simply letting go, especially if something is kind of, feels dense or stuck. I just go, okay, I'm going to just let go of that for right now. And so often I've come back and the thing has shifted. So if I'm not in there messing with it and I just simply let it go. So take something right now, think of something that you've sort of been cogitating and, messing with and trying to rearrange. And I'd like you to actually just put it in your hand, so get it and put it in your hand. And just think about and the way that you've been messing with it or trying to fix it or get rid of it. And I'd like you to let yourself shape around that. Like if you've been struggling with it, you've been holding on to it, or you've been trying to, get rid of it. And then just simply, poof, let it go. Just poof. Now, some of you, if it still is sticking to you, you can let yourself know that letting go. Sometimes there's a little fuzz that didn't quite be let go. And then notice, is it okay for you to not have that for right now? Is it okay for you to just let go of that for right now? If it's important, it's going to come back like one of those little pieces of fuzz that tends to want to come back and attach to your clothes again. All right. Thank you so much for playing today. And I'm going to take my leave now, and please continue sharing whatever is up for you today. And thank you for being here. Look forward to seeing you next time. Mwah. Bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your sleep.